Hello and welcome to this week's Weekly Wind-Up with me, Dave Hodgson. Now, issues around mental health have been featuring with increasing prominence in the news recently. Whether it's the alarming statistic that 1 in 4 will live with the mental health issue at some point in their life, or the way in which celebrity suicides are reported, or the shocking state of mental health services in the UK currently, or the increasing number of people claiming to have been asked why they hadn't killed themselves yet during assessments for the benefits. The issue of mental health and its causes is growing in the modern British consciousness. To discuss this situation, I've got with me today a lady called Alisha Berkoh, who has actually a great deal of knowledge about it. Alisha, thanks indeed for coming in and sharing your experiences with it. First of all, if it's okay, could you actually describe us something about the situations that you've been dealt with in life?
So for me, the first sort of sign I thought, oh, something's not quite right, was back when I was 15 years old. They say mental health issues can be brought on by something bad that happens in your life, so a bereavement or a split up. And for me, it was splitting up with my first long-term ex-partner. Yeah. Which I know for everyone it is obviously it's like losing a left leg. You know, I was with him a year and a half, and it was really upsetting. But most people get over it in a couple of weeks, couple of months.
How did the pain take you?
I mean, even from the first day it happened until months after, the pain just didn't kind of go away. And then I was in my college, and sort of everything got on top of me. Everything got worse. Lots of other situations happened. And it just kind of spiraled out of control. I have been suicidal. I did attempt to commit suicide. And I kind of believe that everything happens for a reason, because when I was sort of just about contemplating to do it, my sister rang me out of the blue, completely random, and that, you know, in a sense saved me. I did have to go to hospital because my parents were worried about me. And I self-harmed as well, so they had to go and, you know, sort that out as well. And even before I'd committed suicide, I was on a waiting list to be seen by a counsellor at CAMS, which is the Child Adolescent Mental Health Services in Kirklees. But obviously the waiting list was dead long, and it literally took me to have to go and attempt suicide to get... Before you could get seen even? Which was, I think, just disgusting, really.
What's it like trying to get some attention from the current state of the NHS?
To be honest, I think, as a lot of us know, the NHS mental health department is shocking. I mean, the waiting list is, 6 to 8 weeks. And a lot of cases, the time is from that time of going to your saying, I need help, I want a referral, to actually getting that referral 6 to 8 weeks down the line. That's when the person can get particularly worse, because they know that help's coming, but it's not there, and they, you know, at that point they're probably at the most, at the most vulnerable, which was what I was. I just felt like nobody cared, and the fact that, like I said, I had to go to that length and it got that bad for someone to notice, you know, that I had a problem, you know, and it just shouldn't be like that. It's not fair, you know, saying that, like you said in the intro, people saying they have to, why didn't you kill yourself? You don't say that. It's such a sensitive issue.
What a question to ask somebody who is ill.
You know, and then there was the Scamandon Bridge a couple of weeks ago, a man who jumped off the bridge. A lot of people were supportive on social media, but a lot of people were like, oh, why didn't you just do it at home? Well, they need to understand people who are suicidal, they don't think about others, they're just concentrated on their own feelings. They don't care whether if they jump up a bridge or hang themselves in their own home.
The consequences for people around them.
It's not their first thought.
Just isn't important at that time.
No, definitely not.
And that's part of the illness, isn't it? Yeah. Now, in recent years, we've had a number of high-profile suicides. The most recent, of course, being Chester Bennington of the Bad and Lincoln Park. Whilst suicides have always been reported in papers, social media allows a much larger number of people to join in on the commentary, not necessarily with good intent and lots of unsympathetic results. What's your take on that?
I mean, being a big Lincoln Park fan myself, hearing about Chester's death was really sad. But looking at you know, a lot of people on social media, they did, you know, send tributes and did feel kind of sorry for him. And a lot of people say that the fans technically killed him because of the band's latest album.
There was a lot of delay,
yeah,
wasn't
and
there?
It wasn't like there were also some people who didn't like it. And also a lot of people were saying, oh, well, he's just so selfish, he left a family and kids. Well, yeah, there is that side of it, but then if you're a really famous musician and someone turns around to you and says, oh, I think your music's rubbish, it's going to hurt, you know, it will hurt his feelings. And obviously he already had that built-up mental health issue.
And you feel this need to be brave,
yeah.
but you know you can't.
So I do feel for him, I do feel for the family, but it's not the first time it's happened. It probably won't be the last time something like this happens.
So right with that. Do you feel the way instances of suicide are reported in the right way are okay? And do you think that social media forums could be indeed a more moderating force in the discussion around mental health conditions?
I think they could be a lot more sensitive to the matter, because, you know, a lot of people now, you know, young people will experience mental health issues, particularly if they're going to university, college and that, because it's that stress. And I think it's just really important to just be sensitive about these matters. You don't know what's going through somebody else's head. You know, you've got to be, you know, so careful, because you don't know what one thing might set somebody off. It's not fair. It's just the world of social media we live in.
A hair trigger, and it's not surprising if you stop and think about it why some people are on a hair trigger.
Exactly. I mean, for me, sort of at university now, I've managed to get counselling sessions, because I kind of knew going to university I'm going to get stressed. There will be issues where I think, oh, I can't cope. So going to my university house and seeking counselling is sort of, it's that kind of backup. If I ever feel like it's all getting a bit too much, I can go for them.
So in fact, you're on the up, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been on medication since I was 18, which I kind of thought, oh, well, the minute, because obviously CAMS is only up to 18. Yeah. They thought, oh, the minute I turned 18, I was put on pills. I'm 20 now, I've been on them ever since. But I have had the support, say, from my fiancé, my new friends, my family, and it's something I'm willing to speak out about now, and I've done a lot of work with it. I've written like poems about it, and people have come to me saying, oh, I'm feeling down, what can you do? And it's nice, you know, to know that you've helped someone. And
how is the university course been for you? Is it helping?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as you all know, it's, you know, TV and radio, it's what I love, it's what I want to do, and everyone's dead supportive, and I'm doing really well, and I'm looking forward. I'm just going to be leaving to go into second year in a couple of weeks. So I'm dead excited, and I'm looking forward to it, and I've got a good feeling about this year.
There are places that people can just talk.
Yeah. For me, it was the Samaritans, because I didn't want to speak to my family or friends about it. You can ring the Samaritans. It's a free phone number.
It costs you nothing to ring.
Literally, you can ring them up and you can just pour your heart out to them. They're not going to judge you for your race, religion, whatever. They'll just sit and listen. They can't necessarily offer advice because they're not mental health professionals.
They can now, but that's a different matter to be covered in another weekly wind-up.
Yeah, but definitely you can just sit there. As long as you can have as much time with them as you want, you can sit there. They can just listen, and it really helped me in the times, thinking there wasn't anybody to listen, but there was.
Good. So, folks, if you have that problem, the number to ring is 116 123. 116 123. That'll get you at no cost to the Samaritans, who will help you. Finally then, if you could change one thing about Britain and government policy around the mental health situation, what do you think might improve things? What needs tackling first?
I think, to be honest, mental health needs to be taught about in schools, you know, from that sort of 14, 15 age, you know, teenagers going through puberty, going through the change. That is when they're kind of most
prone. The hormones almost kicking off.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think definitely they should be teaching about it in schools. You know, it does happen, it might happen to you. Also, I don't think it's fair that you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get a referral, because that is I think the most vulnerable time between.
But yet here we have a government saying there's never been so much money pumped into mental health.
Well, for me, because I went to see CAMS originally by HRI, and then after a couple of weeks that closed down, I had to travel to Halifax once a week.
Not the best situation
No,
to
definitely
cope
not.
with, is it? When
You should be able to have somewhere, even like a drop-in centre. You can go and just talk to people. So yeah.
So basically, there's hope for everybody, but you've just got to look for it and don't be frightened.
No, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
you will get through it.
absolutely. So folks, that's all we have time for on this edition of Weekly Wind-Up. My thanks to Alisha for joining us and being so forthright about such personal topics. Please join us again next week for another edition of Kirklees Local TV's Weekly Wind-Up. I'm David Hodgson. Goodbye.